Liverpool versus everybody, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get this how that goes. Yeah, Liverpool versus everybody. Look, I'm back, man. Yesterday was crazy. Obviously, the game. I was in Baltimore with family, traveling back and forth. Boom, boom, boom. Today was the best day. Get my thoughts together. And here I am. So this is going to be a long one again. I'll probably take this right up to the time I have to go and head off for work. But a lot to unpack, a lot to talk about, guys. So if you're around, pull up a chair, grab some cereal, grab some pancakes, waffles, French toast, fruit, yogurt, cottage cheese, whatever it is you eat, eggs, bacon, sausage. Let's do it. Let's do it. Jason, what's up? Mercy, what's happening? Good to see you guys coming in. So let's dive into this, man. Let me. I'm gonna start with this, and I hate to go this route. And if you watch this channel, you know I don't like to really bring up refs because I don't think that that should be an issue in a game. You know what I mean? You should never leave it up to the ref. Like, go get the game. Don't leave it up to well. And the ref was pretty atrocious all game, but also he was kind of good to us. I gotta say. Um, so I gotta look at it both ways. I can't really be negative about him and knowing that he could have called some things that may have really cost us in that game. And I gotta talk about Van Dyke because if Lovren does a couple of things that Van Dyke does in that game, he is being chastised right now. He's probably getting death threats, especially if we lose it. That handball towards the end of the game, that could have been called on another day. A different ref calls that, and that's two penalties. Giving up that penalty, to me, I, from the angle I saw, it looked like Lovren's kind of bump on Aguero in the first half was more of a penalty than that one. But hey, whatever. But that's a game changing decision right there. And if it wasn't Riyad Mahrez, we'd be really tight today. We'd be really upset today. So we got to talk about that, like we would talk about Lovren. Van Dyke was good today. He was his typical Van Dyke self. To be honest, Virgil Van Dyke did a lot of good things. He did, and I'm not taking that away from him. At the same time, I'm just saying the way we look at certain players when they mess up, although they might be, for example, Robertson, you can come in. He can come in for some criticism over the last few games. Okay, he was much improved in this game, but he's pretty off in the last two games. So we have to talk about that. We can't just because he's better than Alberto Moreno and we prefer him over Alberto Moreno. We have to still critique him, and I see a lot of people aren't doing that, especially with Virgil Van Dijk. It's like he can do no wrong, and because he has a great game overall, you still have to talk about those details because that could have almost cost us. It didn't, and I can acknowledge that, but it came pretty close. And if it did, I would want to see what people would be talking about. Knowing Liverpool as fickle as we can be as fans, I'm pretty sure what they would be saying. But my whole point is, to me, Lovren was a better defender on the day, and I didn't see that coming. Lovren was cleaner, was better, made a lot of very important tackles in that game, clearances. I just think Lovren was better personally. That's just my opinion, and maybe it's coming from the aspect of not really expecting much. So when you see even the bare minimum, and then he took it up a notch. That's great to see. Joe Gomez should never play right back again. I don't know if I agree with that. I thought Gomez was up there for one of the better performers on the for our team, especially just shutting down Sterling. I mean, Sterling is a great player for City. Let's not get that twisted, okay? But now every single time he comes to Liverpool, he just wets the bed. Now maybe that's just Sterling, the booing, I had to watch the game back to even see that they were booing. The bar I was watching at, I couldn't really hear the sound that well, but I would assume that we were booing. But anyway, what he did to Sterling physically, and Sterling tried to give a little bit back. I give him a little credit, but he took that whole side of the pitch off, in my opinion. There wasn't much coming from that pitch. Yeah, Lovren was amazing. He was amazing, and that's listen. Our center back situation right now, our defense and entirely, as a whole unit right now is just, and I keep saying it every video, that's what gives me confidence, and it's a bit disappointing that it seems like we've done a flip flop. Last season going forward, we were amazing. You knew we'd score goals for the most part, except against Swansea games like that, but And our defense was kind of the issue. Now the defense is what's gonna keep us in every game. Will our offensive side of the ball help us? Is this something that will drag on for longer than we really want? You don't want to think that, but there clearly is something that's not clicking. And I don't know if Klopp, we talk about Klopp and his lack of a plan B. Um, he's got to figure out something. If it's a formation change, if it's switching Mane and more of a 10 role, we know he plays that a lot with Senegal. Well, he plays a lot of areas with Senegal, but I don't know. There's got to be some switching around, man. I don't know if you put maybe switch him and Salah. I don't know if you put Salah more of as a striker with Fabinho as a 10, which we do that anyway in games. It seems like. I don't know, but there's got to be some tinkering with the formation, with the tactics. I guess something just isn't clicking. And also, just when we get to the final third, we're just losing the ball. That was just so frustrating. Whether it's Mane, Firmino, Salah, whoever it is, that has to stop happening. Losing the damn ball almost every other time we get the ball is just so frustrating to see because it's not necessary. You don't have to keep losing the ball like that. Just hold on to the damn ball. So, but I'm just proud that the defense right now is just. I think we have the best defense in the league. I really do, by far, actually. Some of Mane's first touches in the game reminded me of Lukaku. Yeah, man, it's just like what. That is just so because look, and I'm gonna get to Pep in a second because we're gonna talk about who bottled what. Okay, I'm tired of these City fans talking about Liverpool bottlers. We're gonna talk about Pep in a second. Um, I've done a little physiology profile on Klopp. He'll never change his philosophy. Yeah, I mean, wow. Worn out myself after that. Like, yeah. This break coming up is very much needed, Adam. I agree. Definitely keep the faith always, but we have to stop blaming the front three too much. There's something about the tactic even City plays with. Yeah, this is not even me blaming the front three. Um, this is just me. There's clearly something that's not right. That the connect between the midfield and the front three, attacking in general. I mean, the fullbacks haven't been great at crossing this season. They've been okay in spurts, but just in general, as an attacking unit, collectively, something isn't right. I don't know if that is, but again, I think the formation needs to be switched up. It needs to be changed. I'm sorry, the formation, the tactic, sure, it something needs to be changed. And I don't care if City is playing a deep. No, we had moments in there that we could have capitalized on. So if anybody's talking about City's defense and that's the no. Um, and yeah, I'm gonna get to Pep in a second. I thought Keita would make a difference, but he didn't. I don't know. To me, I'm kind of frustrated with Keita. I don't know if it seems like he doesn't really know what his role is, or he was asked to do something and he was fighting against that, or his back was still hurting him or something. There was a breakaway that Liverpool or City had gotten. I don't know if we gave the ball away or what. Probably on a counter, and you see Mane who plays kind of an attacking mid wing role for us now anyway, but he's running back into our own box to try to defend, and Keita's just like in between a midway half jog walk thing. I'm like, what, bro? What are you doing? Um, that's it's a little frustrating because we do need. Listen, we need these guys to really be accelerated at some point. I don't know if it's this break, international break, but Fabinho and Naby need to get acclimated. It's time now. I'm sorry. They need to get acclimated one way or another. And I know it's early, and I know they're new to the Premier League, and I know everybody is different. Um, much as I know that, if you look at Torreira at Arsenal, I mean, this dude. I mean, one of the guys called him the white N'Golo Kante. I'm not gonna go that far. That's a bit disrespectful, but he's in that framework. I'm not going to sit on here and talk about other players. But my point is, we need that. We need that consistently. Genie's great. I love Genie, but we need a guy who that's actually his position. That's his role. I don't want to take Genie from that because I think that's the position where he really thrives in. But I want to see Fabinho and Keita more. But if they're not producing consistently enough, then we're not going to see them more. That's just what it is. And right now, with Milner being hurt, I don't know how serious that is. Hopefully, Naby is okay. He didn't re-injure anything. A lot of times, guys are just playing off adrenaline, man, when they're playing out there. And guys are injured throughout the season in general. They got knocks and bruises. It's about who can play with those bruises and those knocks and those injuries and those hurts and pains and who can't. So, but no, yeah, we got to see more from Keita. That's a must. But for us to really challenge, it's a must. It's a must that we see more from Keita and Fab, hopefully. Rex, what's up? We played some hard matches recently. I'm not worried. I'm not worried either. Some hard matches, yes. But to have 4 game stretch and Sturridge be your leading scorer, all due respect to Sturridge, 2 goals in 4 games. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's not great. Okay, that's I mean, especially being Liverpool and what you think about us and our attacking um, abilities and pressing it. That's not great. That's not great. And again, all due respect to Sturridge, but you got to get some more goals on the score sheet, whether it's from midfield or the striking player. So why didn't Trent come on for a last? I think the Milner injury kind of messed up all kinds of ideas he had for switching. I think, and maybe I'm giving him too much of an excuse, benefit of the doubt, but because you got to believe that that was a guy who you thought he would bring on, and also Sturridge. I'm sorry, Shaqiri. I heard that. Of course, I'm not at the game. They didn't show it on TV. I heard that Shaqiri was taking his bib off when Riyad Mahrez got the penalty. So is Klopp waiting for them to score to make that change? If that's the case, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. And again, it was almost like we gave them too much respect. They definitely gave us respect, but both teams were like playing not to lose instead of playing to win, and that was really frustrating, man. A really dire game. Klopp will come on and say it was a good game, tactical wise. I guess maybe it was, but yeah, that I mean, we should have beat that team, and that's what frustrates me. At the end of the day, the draw isn't the worst result, but I wanted us to beat City. Clean sheet, they still can't beat us at home, even when they're given a golden opportunity, a penalty. They still couldn't do it. So yeah, we'll see, man. Um, Mercy says Klopp changed from all-out attack to being solid defensively, so he kind of changed. Yeah, and listen, I can't really knock him for. I mean, you say that, and I guess that's true for the most part, but I don't know. It's just again, this game had a lot of shades of that Napoli game, man. It really did. It really did. Our key guys on the wings just really getting every time they got the ball, you just saw bodies around them. Though Kyle Walker was decent in the game. Laporte played well for them. But I also think a lot of their guys were really close to yellow cards. And here's the problem, Martin Mac Atkinson, whatever his name is, he's just a clown of a ref. And I think he's got a track record of being just you know unable to control a game. And it's ridiculous. And I think Fernandinho, for one, is as much as I love him as a defensive midfielder, I think his time is coming up at City. They'll probably be looking for someone else. But that guy should have been thrown out the game. I'm sorry, thrown out the game. Too many chances, too many moments where his actions and play deserved yellow cards. Way too many, man. Way too many. And it doesn't help when these players, because they were done wrong, you could say, by Man United in the game last year that this referee had. And it was like after every call, no matter what, they would run into the ref crying and whining, and that had an effect. It's unfortunate because as a ref, you should be able to call the game no matter what. But every single whistle, the City players were running up to the ref every single time, man. And I think a lot of that had something to do with how the rest of that game kind of went. Each and every time you get these guys running up to you and complaining, some refs just can't handle it, and then they kind of buckle under that pressure, if you will. So, but yeah, the ref was atrocious in my opinion. But yeah, Lovren was amazing. Genie, I thought, was good again. Just his old consistent self at home. Needed that. Again, the Milner thing. Hopefully, he's not too banged up. But Milner's, it's catching up to him, and I spoke about that. And again, because Klopp doesn't fully trust Naby and Fabinho or even Shaq, it seems like, for some strange reason, because I could see him in a midfield role, a 10, maybe kind of fronting as that ox player, moving the ball. I thought Keita would be that. Doesn't really seem like we're getting a lot of that from him yet. It almost seems like Keita's role at that time he came in was to just be more, or focus more on his defensive duties, I guess. I don't know. It was really, really strange that he wasn't able to play a bigger role in that game, 'cause I think a lot of us who had him playing thought he'd do a bit better. And I mean, is it a three-headed monster now? I mean, it's still early. Is it a Chelsea, City, Liverpool title fight, title challenge? Let me know. Let's see. Naby needs to run the team to really get it going, but you probably got to take Genie out to play him. Yeah, Yeah, which that's a tough one. In my opinion, with this crazy schedule, Klopp preferred to be conservative. He didn't want to take risks, try too many options, but I believe we'll see a lot of changes very soon. Yeah, yeah, and I can't really knock that. I think overall, if I had to grade Klopp, I'd probably give him a 7 through the stretch, maybe 7.5. Um, to me, the substitutions are still late though. And I get not being risky. That's fine. He obviously he's been at Liverpool long enough to know how taxing the season can be, how much he works them in training, how many injuries we've gotten over the past, just unfortunate situations, and we're winning a lot of that luck back. We were allegedly apparently the unluckiest team based on some kind of stats, and we're definitely getting that back, man. I mean, even in the Napoli game, we rode our luck for a long time, and then finally, we just kind of fell at the end of that game, which still pisses me off. But to have Riyad Mahrez, who is not a great penalty kicker, I don't know what Pep Guardiola was thinking. See, you trying to be too cute then. Just give it. Don't he's not good. But I guess you say, let me give him a little confidence. He's new to the team. I want him the fans to love him. No, stupid. You should know better than that. And you see Gabriel Jesus' face. He's like, you let this motherfucker take it? Okay, fine. Trying to get you the points, but if you don't want it, yeah, let your guy take it. To not even get it on target. I mean, the pub I was at just roared after he missed that, man. That was because I mean, when we get that penalty conceded, it's just like, oh man, all of this. We're working hard. We're not really doing much with the work, but we're working hard in this game. We can just see this through with a draw, and then this shit happens again late in the game, where you feel like, are we really gonna change this game if they do score this? Um, Nova, what's up? Shakiri should totally start. The rotation is off. Yeah, like Mame said, we'll probably see a lot more of that in these games coming up. I think we come back to Huddersfield, if I'm not mistaken. And then we got like Watford. Arsenal is cleaning up their act. We're gonna talk about Arsenal in a minute too. Do we dare mention number 10? If you like. I mean, I can't really knock it. For the longest time, I was saying that's not the issue. That's not what we need. Um, but it does feel like we need a player, at least in that mold, who can carry the ball. I don't necessarily think it has to be a Coutinho-like player. Um, I think maybe a mixture of that and Ox. Because for me, Ox is a better option for me than Coutinho ever was. That's just my opinion. Coutinho settled too much for long distance shots, which I think Shaqiri kind of has that in his makeup as well, which kind of bothers me. Um, but sure, yeah, let's holler out of 10. I mean, there's a lot of people who probably say in January we really need to, or will say we should have gotten Fakir, or I guess another option out there, maybe the Madison dude from Leicester City. But yeah, it does feel like we need a more somebody who can carry the ball. If that's a 10, if you want to call that a 10, fine. If it's a attacking 8, fine. We do need someone in that area between midfield and attack to do it. But part of me feels like Klopp won't go in for that. But I could be wrong. We'll see when January comes. Man City only had 50% possession. Yeah. I thought it was less than 52, but Mahrez is a trash footballer. I never rated him. And that's the thing. Before the game, I was thinking, you're really starting Mahrez in this? I don't know what. Again, Pep bottled this. He bottled it. He bottled it from his lineup options. You don't put Sterling in the game at Liverpool. Why are you doing that? Again, he I guess he's trying to give these guys. Look, it's not happening for Sterling, and it never will. Let's just call it what it is. He is shook when he comes back to Anfield. It's not gonna happen. Okay, he had some little things on the ball, whatever, but Gomez took him out the game. He was never really effective, really defensively. You got to stop playing him. Sane should have started. I'm sorry. You start Sane in that game. Maybe even do a two-striker situation with Aguero and Jesus. Aguero still can't score at Anfield. I don't think he was really given that many chances, though. Credit to us and credit to Pep having a bottling, dumb, losing mentality kind of plan to going into this game, in my opinion. But they didn't have De Bruyne. Mendy started for them, which I think was probably something that they thought was an upgrade, was good. Gundogan wasn't in. So I don't know. I don't to not start Sane in that game. I don't get it. I don't get it, man. He's had a great deal of success against us in my memory. So I don't know why you wouldn't have started him. Just really weird to me. Let's see. Pass some of you guys' comments. Let me make sure I get them. Adam says sometimes Klopp changes come too soon. Okay, Sturge header at the end. Yeah, the game, Firmino, up the speed goal. Kip. Yeah, I mean, we had some moments there, but well, do we have any shots on target? Oh, I guess that was a shot on target. That was a shot on target from Sturge. Yeah, just off balance with that one. That would, I mean, to see Sturge come in and save us again. I mean, it still would have been like, well, damn, is this what we have to do to get wins, to get points? I mean, we can't get our starters, but I would have taken it. So that was tough. But again, I think he should have come on a bit earlier, just a bit earlier. Um, Jason, the more I watch this team, the less I feel Klopp is the right man to bring us back. Seems like he just wants to win something and move on. Really, that's the interesting one. I don't agree with that, but yeah, that's interesting. His tactics are the first indication. Fakir injured yesterday. Really? Think it's his knee. Ah, is his career done? Whose career? Fakir? So talking about Fakir or what we not talking about Klopp? So guys, let me know if I'm tripping. No, I'm just. What's all this hype about Hendo? Was he that great to you guys? Because I need to. I mean, I watched like the first 30 minutes over again. I didn't watch the whole game. I'm gonna finish watching it between today and tomorrow. But I didn't. I mean, I thought he was just Hendo. I mean, I didn't think he was spectacular, but he's getting higher marks. He was average. Yeah, I didn't get why he was getting so hyped on different channels, and Gomez never really went down there right until second half. Not bringing Trent on, still getting to me. Yeah, well, I think that's a tactic that you could agree with or not, but I think his idea was to try to limit Sterling as much as he could, and I think he did that. Second half, yeah, he did go on the attack a bit more. I thought got some decent crosses in. I mean, look, I don't know. I think Gomez was fine. I don't think he was excellent, but I definitely don't think he was awful. And sure, it probably would have loved to see Trent a bit more, or at all. It would have been good to see him. I think it was his birthday recently as well. At home, big game like this, you would have wanted. I'm sure he would have wanted to play. So I don't know. I mean, Klopp saw something different in training. I guess I don't know. I mean, Lovren was good. I thought Gomez was fine. So I mean, I don't think. I mean, listen. In hindsight, it's hard to really say. I mean, could we have won if we had Trent? Would he have put in a better pass here or there? I don't know that he would have been better defensively though on that side, and that's what I think. That's where I come away with thinking, you know what, I don't mind that choice, and it kind of worked out, in my opinion. So, um, see you later. Some people saying he shut the doubters up. Who shut the doubters up? Gomez? Oh, Hendo. Yeah, I know. I saw that. I'm like, no, he didn't. I think LSC Focus put that up. I'm like, he didn't shut anybody up. Look, I didn't see anything amazing. I don't know why they're hyping it. I think they're just people who, if he has a game that's not awful, they just want to, like, especially Hendo support, like big Hendo lovers. I mean, I support him. He's on Liverpool, but people who really love Hendo, it's like, oh, see, I didn't get it. I didn't get it. I don't know. Works hard, yeah, but he does that every game, more or less. So I don't know. Bro, Hendo, Genie, and Milner seem to have used dark magic on the fans. Don't work on me. To be honest, we Liverpool fans always hype up mediocrity. Yeah, I agree with that. Definitely, Liverpool fans definitely like to hype average players. I mean, overall, obviously not all of us, and maybe not most of you, but that's definitely true. But yeah, so it's slightly disappointing. It actually is more than slightly disappointing. Not to get a win over that team. Again, I think both teams are just giving probably too much respect to each other, which you kind of understand. And I think you're still looking at the two best teams in the league, in my opinion. Look, I know that we haven't been great going forward, whatever the case may be. As I said, the last 4 games, Sturridge is the leading scorer with 2. No one else has scored goals in the last 4 games. So while it's nice to see the defense playing what it is, really that is. I'm totally happy with that. And if we go on this season, and I think most people, unless you're idiots, if we go on this season playing like that and win the league, I don't think anybody's going to really be complaining. If you are, that's sad. Let me say something real quick. And again, this is not to knock these folks. They do some really good stuff, and I think they are, at least some of them, or as a collective, they're an important part of what Liverpool, the fan base, do for other fans, like on YouTube, whatever. But the guy, what is this? Gareth Roberts on the Anfield Rap. I saw this build up thing with him and City, and I don't get you Liverpool fans. Maybe some of you on here, in all due respect, I don't get you guys who feel like let's just enjoy this ride. It's not that important if Klopp doesn't win anything. It's good enough to just challenge City and maybe we'll come close and get second place and maybe we'll do nice in the Champions League and we'll get to go travel to Italy and Spain and that's great because it's all about contending. No, it's all about winning. I don't get that. And to have the voice that he has, I just don't. And if he has that mentality, I'm afraid that a lot of Liverpool fans really are on some, journey shit. Let's just enjoy the journey. Let's just have fun while it happens. We don't have to really win anything. Listen, I'm sorry. I love Klopp. Questions need to be asked. Yes, I said it here. Questions need to be asked of Klopp if he doesn't win a trophy this year. I don't care if you agree with me or not. I'm sorry. If this is any other manager, people will be saying it. But because Klopp is charismatic and all of that and plays nice football and all of that, and look, I love him. He understands Liverpool way and all that. That's great. You gotta win something. I'm sorry. That's just how I look at it. Again, I love saying that here. That's a loser's mentality to be on some just enjoy the journey. Nah, man. Mane's passing is underrated. It is. It's very true. He needs to improve his first touch though. Yes. I don't want Klopp sacked if we don't win something this year. For me, I'm not at that point just yet. I'm not saying sacked. I'm saying questions. I'm not saying sacked. Bro, I hate the enjoy the ride crap. It's crazy. Klopp said something similar in his pre-match conference that I wasn't feeling at all. Yeah, I don't get people. Thank you, Nova and Jason. And it's okay if people who disagree with me, please let me know. It's not about trying to win more, people who like what I say or not. But I just don't get that. I mean, that was almost cringy watching that dude talk to the Man City or talk with the Man City fan. I mean, that mentality is. I'm sorry, man. I don't know when, where. And I guess because we haven't won for so long, Liverpool fans are just accepting that. I mean, I don't know how you just about contending and putting up a good fight. What? That's a sucker's mentality, man. I'm sorry. All due respect, but yeah, Thompson. Yo, our attack really let the defense down. Yeah, and have been doing it for a period of time now. That's the really frustrating thing. We finally got our defense back, and now we can't really do much going forward. Um, so I don't know. Don't get me wrong. Now is the time. Yeah, I hate United, but I get jealous of their mentality. Sometimes they finish second and look at the scrutiny. Yeah, yeah. I mean, Mourinho talked about it too. They finished second, and you'd have thought, that they finished 12th last season. Um, so I mean, he got out of dodge with that game in Newcastle because I think they lose that, he's losing his job. But he bought himself some more time, and but doesn't look great at United. Doesn't look great at United at all. But back to Liverpool, man. Look, obviously it's good not to lose to that team after all the build up, all the hype. I would have wanted to see some better moments from Liverpool. City just again they were. I said in the video at the end of the game, they were happy to just kick the ball around the back, take time, waste time on certain moments, whether it was people coming off the pitch or throw-ins or a lot of silly shit they were doing. Because I think they were just happy to get a draw. They didn't want to lose at Liverpool again. Pep didn't want to lose again. He hates the idea that his team can beat us at Anfield, and that Klopp has more wins than he does. He hates it. He won't admit it, but he hates it. Mercy said Mourinho said that he was happy with second place. I don't think he has the right mentality either. Yeah, if Mourinho can have the mentality he wants, I don't really care how other teams' coaches' mentalities is. But as for us and our manager, that's a dead one to have. You know what I mean? If you fight and that's what you get, cool. But why on earth would anybody say, "Oh, I'm cool with second place," and it's early in the season? That's already you saying, "Yeah, we're not going to win anything anyway. I'll be happy if we climb up a little bit and improve on fourth." Some of these Liverpool fans, I just don't get it, man. I don't get it. It's like they live for the the European nights, being drunk, screaming and yelling and losing your voice, and also losing games. I don't understand that. That's not an enjoyable time for me. But let's get off that subject. It is what it is. I'm sure I'll have people saying, "Why are you talking bad about that?" So let me just move on. Um, let's see. Adam, Bobby getting away with it a bit. He's a striker. He's not. Let's not forget. No, I know he's a 9.5, but we need a scary goal. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, listen, we can use a lot of goals from several people, man. That Thompson, we need to win these so-called winnable games with style. Yeah, these games coming up, man. We have got. I mean, I don't really know if it's necessarily with style, but we just need to win them at this point, honestly. Because to me, at the end of the day, winning is all that matters. I don't really care. Sure, it'd be nice to see Mane, Salah, Firmino kind of getting back in that groove. I'm not gonna lie, that would be nice. But I mean, if we're eking them out, Milner penalties, headers from Fabinho, Matip, or who. I don't. One thing about Robinson too, there's some moments where he. I mean, there was a lovely moment he had against I guess it was Walker, kicked it over his head, got the ball on the return on the other side, and I think he should have just had a shot. You gotta trust that. I think that's Alberto Moreno. He's shooting that all day. You gotta trust that shot. Take a shot. If for nothing else, you never know. Ricochet off the goalpost, off the goalkeeper. Put some heat on it. Put a shot on it. I mean, we need to be getting shots on target anyway, just to get in the groove of that, the comfort level of that. Um, you know, I want to see him do that a bit more because it's almost like he'll make a move, get past a guy, because he's really good at doing that. That's really an underrated part of his game, whether it's a 1-2 to get past a guy or figuring out a way just with his own God-given skills to get past a guy. And what he did there was beautiful. Kicked it over the dude, had enough presence of mind, timing, get the ball on the other side. Carl Walker's a fast player. So to be able to do that, that's nothing to sneeze at. So doing that, once he gets it, he's almost just like, oh shit, what do I do now? And then I think we got a corner from that. So you got to just take the shot, man. Take the shot. Also, Gomez had some moments where he could have taken a shot on that edge. I don't care if it looks crazy. Take a shot. Take a shot, man. Have a shot. So I want to see that more, and I think Klopp should be encouraging them to do that more instead of all this, I don't know, just work. When you think too much about it, that's when you make mistakes. And I think that's what happens a lot. Instead of just playing our football in that final third, just have a shot. Make the pass. You do it in your sleep. You can do it in training. Do it in the games. So that's been kind of frustrating. But yeah, I mean, what else we got here? No, I'm just relieved we're done with that crappy fixture for a while. We should rack up a win streak now. We should. Yeah, we should go on another win streak that was kind of interrupted with the Carabao Cup and then the Napoli game. So yeah, Mercy, if we don't beat Cardiff by 4-0, or I will be I'll be worried. Yeah, I mean Cardiff is kind of the whipping boy of the league so far. What you think about Shaqiri in midfield? We always want to go forward, like his movements and pass to Sturridge for his Chelsea goal. Hendo would have passed the rock to Trent. Jason, I like that question, comment. I'm cool with it. Listen, I want to see something different. And we have, supposedly we have this great roster, great depth. Let's use it. We have to see something change. Klopp's got to change something. At first, when I saw the lineup, I was thinking we playing a back three, and then having maybe Milner and Robbo push up as flank guys on the. I didn't know because to see Lovren, I'm thinking, and to see Gomez, I'm like, wait, and no Trent. That's just weird. So, it worked out. We talked about that, but yeah, I think we have to see Shaqiri now in these games. We have to. You got to switch something up. And I don't necessarily mean in for Salah, although I wouldn't be mad at that necessarily. But switch it up a bit, Klopp. Maybe throw Fabinho in there for, a period of time. Because that's the only way you're going to really know what he's got, in my opinion. Let him make some mistakes. Let him fall on his face. But at some point, you got to play him more regularly, I think. If you don't buy a ticket, you can't win the raffle. Yep, that's a good point. That's a good point. Thompson, Robertson needs to be more attack-minded. True. How is it that Virgil van Dijk never had the ball in corners? Yeah, I know that's a problem to me. Again, I love the guy Milner, I really do. But again, that's the other element you get with Shaqiri. We need if we're not going to be starting Shaqiri. I mean, because there's games where if we get something decent on a set piece, we're good, but we can't get it. Henderson and Mo Salah, as good as he is, not the greatest at set pieces, man. Not the greatest at set pieces. So, I mean, those are just wasted opportunities, but you can't afford in a game like that. Those, you gotta have the mentality of a, like an old Tony Pulis team in those moments. Some of those West Brom moments. You got to get up for those, and maybe practice a bit more on those because they were awful. Some of the throw-ins were bad. No pants. You better not be naked, dog. Nah, bro. Nah, I got shorts on, man. I'm not coming on here to be X-rated, man. Um, but yeah, I just it's the set piece situation is so irritating because those are like free passes. They are. They're free passes. If you just put something decent in, and none of them were decent. None of them. And that's a problem, because all of that, you can see Van Dyke telling him to stop and wait till I get up and all that. And then not even to get ahead on it, not his fault, but Milner's just not the dude. He's not that dude, and I really feel like we got to start seeing Shaqiri from the jump at some point. And I don't give a damn who it's in for. If it's in for Milner, fine. If it's in for Salah, just put him in. Just put him in. And having Salah come off the bench might be something that gets him going. You never know, but you won't know unless you try it. So I mean, if I'm running that team, I'm probably sitting him and bringing in Shaqiri. I wouldn't have done it for this last game, but I would have at least brought Shaqiri in at some point. But again, I think the injury kind of maybe messed that up. I don't know. Nah, that's kind of a bullshit. I think you bring Shaqiri on still because you would have given them something else to think about. So I think Robinson should get to cross and corners. Yeah, that might be good. Might be good. Yeah, man, I think the corner situation is just really dreadful and disappointing. You know what I mean? Because again, that's an area of the pitch where, in games like that, you got to be better. Klopp idolizes the front three too much. Nobody is too big to get dropped. Well, he better change that, man. He better change that. I knew you would love that, Jason. Um, yeah, and I don't mind that you spell my name that way. By the way, it's totally fine. I mean that genuinely. I'm not trying to be sarcastic. Some people are petty about, oh, my name is spelled. No, no, it's cool. We need to do this defense justice. I know you feel bad because they put in such great performances all season, man. Really, every game. They've just been amazing this season. Really, I mean, they're what kept us in the Napoli game for so long until we conceded the goal. The Chelsea game until we conceded the goal. So there was so much in this game that was so stressful, and I was just like, man, I'm gonna need a new heart in a couple of months because I can't. They keep doing this to me, man. You kept thinking that if you let City stick around in this game, they're gonna get a chance, and they got a chance. And I mean, Riyad Mahrez, my goodness, man. I need to send him a thank you card, for extending our unbeaten streak, extending our record of clean sheets. So, yeah, I mean, I mean, when he missed that, skied it. I was just, man, but I still was thinking, look, we got to finish this game up, man. That was too close to call. So when they started, we would have lost. Most likely, well, I don't want to say that, but I think, I mean, I can understand that. And like I said, Sane should have been starting. I don't know why you're starting Riyad Mahrez with Sterling. I don't get that. I don't get that. I mean, I really don't. I really don't. So, yeah, City didn't really impress me, man. And I get it. Pep is. I think that's how Pep's going to play against us in general. He might be a little bit more open at the Etihad, but I think he'll be playing not to lose, and he'll just think, look, if we get draws against Liverpool, that's the only team that's really going to trouble us in his mind. I don't think he's right about that. There's a lot of tough. This season's going to be really, really tough, man. This season's going to be really, really tough. Arsenal's getting much better. I mean, I think that's 9 wins in a row. They're on their own little win streak. Bournemouth is improving. Look, I'm not trying to say Bournemouth is going to win the league or anything, but Bournemouth have a strong team. Don't sleep on them. They have a strong team. Watford is still decent. Everton, I know you don't want to hear it, but they have games where they show up and improve. So, I mean, United, who knows what they're going to do. Spurs are a pile of trash to me. You're struggling with Cardiff City, really. I'm done with Spurs. I'm over Spurs. And then you got Chelsea City and Liverpool. So, it's going to be a tough one, man. It's going to be a tough one. Obviously, Wolverhampton, no joke. They've only got one loss. Probably a few too many draws, but yeah. Mahrez is the second Muslim to make my weekend after Khabib smashed Conor. Now for Salah to follow suit. Yeah, anybody smashing Connor, I'm a fan of. I don't even know much about this Khabib guy, but definitely not a fan of that other dude. I won't even say his name again. I knew it would be a chess match. Yeah. Thoughts on Nabi? Looks like he's intimidated by intensity. Yeah, and that's troublesome, man. I don't even know if it's by the atmosphere. It's just he just looks unsure. I'm like, and is it the language barrier? Like, is he not getting what his role is? Because he looks lost. Now, benefit of doubt, maybe he still has something with the back. I don't know. But even before that, he just, you know, he doesn't look up to speed, man. And when you watch him in the German league, the clips or the live games, he's terrorizing that league, especially that first season, 2 seasons ago. So that's, I mean, look, I think Naby Keita and Fabinho are both gonna be big characters for us. Um, you just want to see that sped up, and that's maybe unfair to them, harsh, whatever. Especially again when you compare them to other players that have come in and kind of just. The one example I used was Torreira from Arsenal. He's been amazing for them. Um, so you want to just see that sped up a bit, and we're gonna need it because it's a long season, man. There is no ops. We know that. So it's on Fabinho and Keita, Milner, Hendo, Genie, Lalana when he comes back as well. But it's on these new signings to really, really, really get up to speed and fast, man, because we need it. We're gonna need it. We need those different aspects. We can't just be predictable against every team. So we're gonna need that rotation heavy. So yeah, I mean, I love Naby. I think he'll end up being much better, but he hasn't looked great in the last few appearances that he's played. He came on, I think, and the season started, he came on really strong, looked good, and was like, okay, you can see it. And I'm not panicked into thinking he won't be what I think we all think he will be. Same with Fab. It's just taking him a little bit longer. That's all. Yeah, he definitely looks a little bit shook, man. Definitely looks a little bit shook. Adam, he needs to be chunked in the deep and ASAP. Yeah, he needs to be. Aubameyang doing bits, and like I said, yeah. I mean, it's Fulham, so it's, you got to kind of take that with a grain of salt. But still, I mean, 5-1, Arsenal are looking decent. They're in fourth place right now. So, I think Fab and Shaq are ready to get into the first team. I hope so. Arthur Burke showed Allison where to die for the pin. Oh, yeah? Okay. Well, I mean, clearly we didn't even need that because, Riyad Mahrez, he wasn't up for it. He wasn't up for being the hero for the day. He didn't want that. So he just wanted to continue and with that whole the best players in the world miss penalties. Man, get out of here with that shit, man. That best player in the world, not ass. He's supposed to make that. At least have contact on the damn goal. Don't tell me the best players in the world miss penalties. You should have missed that one. Okay, best players are not. So, but yeah, I'm really really I mean, I'm pleased where we are. It's another break, probably much needed. As Klopp said, this is the most idiotic, senseless, pointless thing to be doing. This international comedy, whatever the hell it's called, I don't even know the name. But it's probably a break that we really, really need after this stretch of games. Which to me, honestly, they weren't as difficult as people tried to say. I just don't think. I think we made some of these games difficult for ourselves, and that's just me. I'm not. That's just how I see it. I think a lot of these. I mean, respect to the teams who gave us issues: Chelsea, Napoli, City, to a degree. But a lot of it is us giving us our own selves issues. Giving the ball. I mean, this is again the fourth game in a row where the turnovers are just. It's just sickening, man. It just makes you want to break something. And it just, it's sickening to see us give the ball away that many damn times, man. That's got to stop. That has to stop. So, but we go again. We got a little break. Come back to Huddersfield. But it doesn't get any easier. I mean, I know on paper you see these games and you think, but people are gunning for Liverpool, man. Especially with this idea that we're not really able to score as freely as we were. So teams are thinking, look, sit back, stop them. Maybe we can catch them sleep. They can't defend us for a full 90 minutes. So, we got to be better. We got to be better. Liverpool, look, we haven't won. We know we haven't won in years. So we have no divine right to anything. So we can't be taking anybody lightly. So it looks like we just lost one of the backroom staff guys to physio or something like that. We definitely need an extra man in the middle of the front three. Look like they're on a deserted island. Yeah. Yeah, and again, I mean, we have the players in the team. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if you maybe even consider, again, moving Mane more to that creative 10 central role. I mean, because he can break the lines. He can break the lines. Will he do that? Probably not, but that's an option. This is the team you got, so you got to figure it out who you have to do that. Shaqiri looks like Naby's a bit behind on that kind of role assignment, if you will. But you got to make a move. You got to break to figure that out. Maybe Klopp does one of his little getaways with the squad. Maybe it's too early for that. He might do that in a couple more months, maybe. But figure something out and get this team firing. Because again, it's not going to get any easier. We got a bullseye on our back, and rightfully so. If you want to be contenders, you got to deal with the big boys, which you've been doing. No